What's up, fighting fans? Tips from the Fight IQ channel. Today we're coming back for another episode of the Fight IQ show. First episode of the new format. As I mentioned in another video, there will now be a double dose of Fight IQ show every week. And in this episode, I'm gonna rank the top 3 fights that happened last weekend and tell you why you should watch or rewatch them. To make this ranking, I base my opinion on these criteria: excitement, duration of the fight, opposition level, and the way to finish the fight. So let's get ready to rumble! So last weekend I watched the UFC Fight Night in Vegas and the Benn vs Dobson boxing card, which was also in Vegas. There were some other minor events, but I didn't have time to watch them yet. I might do a TikTok about them if they are worth it. Fight number 3, McCann vs Belbita. It was a fight in the UFC Fight Night prelims in Vegas on Saturday 3rd. It was a new weight class for McCann. I was really curious about it, and I think she really delivered. She looked really composed and locked in from the beginning of the fight. She definitely had the power advantage in this new weight class. And with her great boxing skills, she made Belbita doubt pretty early in the round, forcing her to react to every feint and to keep her guard up. And McCann showed also some nice kicks. Even if they were few, they were efficient. And we saw again her beautiful spinning elbow that she landed with great success. She also let us admire her wrestling and grappling with a beautiful takedown at the end of the round, followed by nasty ground and pound and an awesome transition to an armbar to finish the fight just before the bell rings. Almost a perfect fight from Molly. She just has to be careful to not let herself get carried away, as she did at some point in this fight. And I can't wait to see her against a tougher opponent. No disrespect to Belbita, who is pretty solid. I really like this version of Molly McCann. Number 2, Bilder vs Zhang Yang Li, a fight in the prelims of the UFC Fight Night in Vegas last Saturday. This one was in my preview. I was pretty hyped up about it, and in my opinion it didn't disappoint. The fight IQ from Li was really impressive. He showed from the beginning of the fight that he was the better striker. He had a good movement and definitely had the speed advantage. He was targeting the body of Bilder's instead of his head, and he had so much success with it that Bilder was forced to bring the fight to the ground. But he didn't succeed. He could only trap Li against the cage in a clinch position, but only the Korean Tiger was doing damage from this. And while escaping, Li hurt Bilder pretty bad with a powerful knee to the head, followed by a series of punches in order to finish the fight, but Bilder succeeded to survive. And Bilder started round 2 with the intention to go toe-to-toe in striking with Li, but he had to switch back to his former strategy, seeing that he didn't have success with that one. He shot a takedown well defended by Li and tried to control the Korean against the cage. But he was beaten at his own game as Li reversed the position and succeeded to bring Bilder down with a beautiful outside trip. He worked his way to the dominant position. He unleashed some powerful ground and pound, but then lost the control and Bilder succeeded to get up. The third round was a bit similar. Li was really comfortable with his striking. He really seemed to have fun. Bilder tried again to control the clinch against the cage and to bring the fight to the ground, but he couldn't get it done. Li ended up dominating the grappling exchanges, and when the bell rang, it seemed that he could go for another round while Bilder was pretty exhausted. So logically, Li got the win via unanimous decision. He was better than his opponent in every department, showed that he really belongs to the UFC, and I can't wait to follow his path. I also hope that Bilder will have a chance of redemption because I think he really has potential. And number 1, Azat Maksum vs Charles Johnson. Again, a fight in the UFC Fight Night prelims in Vegas on Saturday 3rd. Best fight of the weekend in my opinion. We got some beautiful work there. I thought it would be over soon after Johnson got rocked pretty hard by Maksum's right hand. The Kazakh tried to finish him with a dash choke. Great work on the ground from both guys, but beautiful escape from Johnson. The rest of the round was difficult for Johnson. He was struggling to get in the fight, Maksum hurting him with every powerful strikes. But at the last minute of the first round, Johnson started to get his flow going. Good movement from him. He had some efficient combos, but for sure he lost the round. Maksum entered the round 2, decided to go rock Johnson again, setting pressure, unloading heavy shots, but Johnson was really moving well, avoiding to get hurt. He succeeded also to get a takedown after ducking strikes from Maksum. and he succeeded to get Maksum's back, but the Kazakh escaped after a nice grappling exchange. The rest of the round was more to Johnson's advantage as Maksum was growing a bit tired. And great corner work between round 2 and round 3 in Johnson's team. Loved the energy that was there. Johnson started the round with success in his striking, forcing Maksum to adapt as he tried to get the fight to the ground. But really good takedown defense from Johnson. He kept it a striking contest, kept pushing his opponent, a high volume of striking, great movements. I think he completely drowned Maksum in the last round and finished the fight on top after getting a takedown. What a performance from Johnson and a great comeback after getting hurt bad in round 1. A lot of heart, logically getting the win via decision, and he took Maksum's O. High level skills from both guys, they definitely belong at this level and I can't wait to see them both back inside the cage. Some other fights almost made it into my top 3. Dolidze vs Imavov, the main event of the UFC Fight Night. Great performance from Nasruddin Imavov, winning the fight via unanimous decision after dominating most of the fight versus a tough opponent. His striking was really crisp, but it didn't go into my top 3 because it was uneven. Some rounds where there were not a lot of action due to the tiredness of both fighters. Also an illegal blow stopping the fight, stopping the rhythm of the fight for some moments, so that's why he was not in my top 3. Benn vs Dobson, complete domination from Benn, but he didn't succeed to finish the fight though. Dobson ate all the shots, not a lot of movement from his part. He had also some success here and there with the right hand, but still, I don't think it belongs to my top 3 for this week. Austin Williams, he finished his opponent Armand Bumba in round 7. Great display of all his skills, powerful guy, keep an eye on him. And good performances too from Natalia Silva, Renato Moicano, Charles Radke and Themba Gorimbo at the UFC Fight Night. So that's it regarding last weekend. If you enjoyed that video, please give a hard punch to those like and subscribe button, especially the last one if you don't want to miss any new releases. And go hit the comments, Discord, Telegram and Instagram with your thoughts on the last bangers. I'll see you later this week.